So hello guys, we start our weekly GraphQL demo, and today we have a pretty short agenda because last week I was at Romania and I just come back, so we don't have a big changes in processing pull request. And general update from my side. I share screen 1 minute. During contribution day at Romania, we finished 2 pull requests. I will show. This pull request was about my product reviews and my orders. Also looks like all fixes after code review was fixed. And we have failed static builds, but I think it will be not big problem. And I think this pull request will be merged as quick as possible. Yes, we have only problem with static test. And next update from my side, I am going to contribution day at Colon. It will be next week. It will be a very interesting event. There will 2 days of contribution, and looks like there are no free tickets. So I expected I don't know, 10, maybe 15, maybe more peoples, because I asked Alexander Lazun and he told that there are no free tickets. And so I will be missed 4 days next week. I will try to provide some answer as quick as possible, but maybe I will be unreachable sometime. And generally, the week after the next will be very hard because we need to process and review and merge a lot of pull requests from contribution day Romania and pull requests from contribution day from Column. Generally, that's all update from my side. And next, I missed Patrika in agenda, but he wrote me that he would like to share some status from contribution day at Barcelona. So, Chris,
are you connected to this, or should I connect?
Yes, connected.
All right. Can you open issue 145? I'm not connected to the. Maybe Valeria, you could share your screen.
Alex, could you share your screen? It will be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm not. Okay, so give me 1 second.
Yeah, I noticed you were not. I'm not either.
Okay, so
Issue 145. It's on the 3rd column.
so what's the number?
145. All right, so it's an item from Poland. She never contributed before to the GraphQL, and this was her first item. I would expect that she would have done a pull request by now, but I guess she didn't. However, she has all the code, and she did about all the code plus the test, and she has a functional functionality for all these things. I don't know why I cannot see the pull request, because I was almost sure she did a pull request for this.
I communicate with Anna today, and I provide some advices, and he promised to create pull request today, maybe tomorrow, as quick as possible.
Yeah, and she also said that she's going to take another item which was very similar to this. So she seems that she's going to be a great contributor to this. Also, there was another issue being worked on, and that was issue number 4. And this was actually done by a guy that was very experienced developer, and he finally abandoned it because he thought it was too complicated. He didn't know how to work with the media gallery and all that stuff, and it was not very performant when he looked at how can he put a code in a performant way. So there was no pull request on this, and he abandoned that in midterm the contribution. So there was just these two attempts. The rest was for PWA and stuff because we had a shared table between PWA and GraphQL. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Chris. And also we have a debate about running API functional test on Travis. You know that generally we have only API functional tests for GraphQL. For us, it's absolutely important things, and this task was marked as special achievements and complex, and Yaroslav will share results.
Hey guys, sharing my screen. So I have been working on this issue for some time. And finally, a few days ago, I had some success with running API functional tests with Travis. So if we check this pull request, let's check the builds. So everything is green here except the API functional tests, but the situation is not as bad because actually we have only a few tests with errors. I'm going to check why it happens, but I'm not sure this issue is related to Travis somehow, because sometimes on my local environment I have the same errors with some tests, but I need to double check it. But as you can see, almost all tests except 3.1 run without issues. And actually, this operation is being executed pretty fast. I believe it's about just a few minutes to run all API functional tests using Travis. And after we figure out what happens with these 3 errors, I believe we can use this approach in our usual routine.
Are you run only GraphQL tests on Travis?
Yeah. The phpunit.xml file is configured to run only the API functional tests that are related to GraphQL.
I am not sure. Can we merge this in develop branch? Alex, what do you think? Could we merge this pull request in the develop if the RA will be run at only GraphQL test? Because if you merge this to our main line, it will be affected all of versions, all of ticket processing.
Can we just skip those tests that don't work right now?
I mean, maybe we need to run all of API functional tests, not only GraphQL, but all of.
Oh, we need, yes.
Yeah. I believe other tests already executed, no?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Valeria, I believe the other tests already executed, and the difference is that we use different PHP unit for GraphQL and for other tests. At least that was my understanding. Maybe.
No, now we don't have any API functional test on Travis.
Yes, that's the very first approach to implement the API functional tests in Travis. And as Valeria said, we have a separate PHP unit file that points PHP unit to execute only GraphQL related API functional tests. But I'm not sure we have the same PHP unit.xml file in the main line.
Yes. So if we would like to merge this pull request to main line, maybe we need to run all of tests. Because if you run only GraphQL test, I'm not sure that we will have some approval.
So we should have different jobs anyway. Like we have on our Jenkins, we have separate job for GraphQL, separate for REST, and separate for SOAPs. That's why it is possible to merge this separately, but then we can just use the same approach, and most likely it will be trivial to enable REST and SOAP support when we have GraphQL support there. And also, Yaroslav, regarding these failures, it is possible that test module is not installed as it should be before the test is executed, because I see
that's what it seems, yeah.
Yeah, because all these failures are related to test module, if you're aware about that functionality, but we can discuss it after offline if you wish.
Yeah, sure. I saw this issue as well, but I'm not sure. Maybe we should adjust the script a little bit to have these modules installed in Travis environment, or we can skip this test somehow, so we can discuss it separately.
The thing is, I don't know how can you skip them just for Travis.
Yeah, like we should not skip them. We should figure out like why they're not working specifically on Travis, because we have same scenarios currently working on Jenkins, and they were working on Bamboo, I believe, as well, and everything was fine. So maybe there's just some small misconfiguration. So let's just discuss it after the meeting, okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and that's actually all from the Travis perspective. And also I have created another pull request regarding setting shipping methods for shopping cart. And I covered in this pull request 2 issues. Actually, it's managing shipping methods, and I have introduced the concept of schema for working with shopping carts. It's for setting shipping addresses, billing addresses, and shipping methods to the shopping cart. But I'm stuck here because the approach is working great, but as we discussed before, we need to figure out how we implement the output of our shopping cart operations. So we need to return the entire cart object on all our operations, and it makes sense completely, but I'm not sure about the best way to create some universal method for all our operations to return the entire cart. So my thought was to create a separate resolver for cart object. So let's check the schema. Yeah, we have the cart object here, and maybe we should create a separate resolver for this cart. And in this resolver, we will be able to get all this information for all our operations, but it's like a matter for discussion because I haven't had a chance to discuss it with Valera or someone else, and that's the only roadblock for me to finalize this pull request. So maybe if we have some time for grooming, we can discuss this point.
We can book grooming at Monday or Tuesday. It will be great because I will left you at Wednesday.
Yeah, that would be great because I can finalize this pull request and we will have like a basis for our further mutations for shopping cart. So the small refactoring and the idea how to introduce the cart object is the only thing that needs to be discussed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will be pinning you and we choose some time. Also, we have update from Alex Lizun. He finished work at pull request show only active categories, but now he will in some trip, so he cannot show and declare what he done. Okay, looks like maybe looks like we don't have any updates. Maybe some questions. Any updates?
Yeah, actually I have one more update. I'm currently working on unification of our tests, and specifically looks like we can unify scenarios for functional tests and web API tests, but all this is work in progress right now, and we'll have more details in coming weeks, I suppose. But at least just for you to know that we are working on improving our state with test duplication and also stability of the tests and coverage. Like looks like we should be able to have pretty good coverage simultaneously in web APIs and our UI. Yeah, so I suppose we'll give more details later.
Great, thank you. So see you next week. I will try to join demo from contribution day. Maybe generally I would like that guys showed some functionality in Zoom, but I'm not sure that will be possible. If you will have some separate stage, I will provide some information more clear to next demo. So thank you guys and see you next week.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
See you guys.